Everybody, it's your boy Andrew L. Casey. You are now tuned into the Middle Initial Podcast. What up, YouTube? What up, Spotify? What up, Ghana? What up, Amazon Music? What up, Twitch? What's going on, everybody? It's February 6th, 2023. I'm here with my co-host, as usual, Jude A. Jackson, and my man, Big Kev, Big Dog. What's
What's up?
going on, fellas?
I'm good, man. How your weekend, man?
Man, I'm still on one foot. But like Tupac, I get around. You know what I mean? Barely. But
Hopefully, you don't have to run for any reason. That would be awkward.
But I'm mobile, agile, hostile. What's going on with y'all?
No, you're definitely hostile. That we could attest to that. You are most certainly hostile.
Oh my god! I'm recording from my kitchen for those who
your Twitter account attests to how hostile you are.
I'm very nice on Twitter. I'm very nice.
Bullshit, Andrew.
Very nice.
Bullshit.
I'm doing well. I can't complain.
Everybody loves everybody.
You don't love nobody.
Sorry if you guys hear me pour. Sponsored by nobody. No sponsors yet. But when we get a sponsor, I'll show what I'm drinking if we get a sponsor. But until we get a sponsor, it's sponsored by nobody.
But I'm doing well, Case. I can't really complain this weekend. It was kind of quiet. Nothing too crazy. How are you doing, Kev? You did anything
How are we
exciting?
defining quiet in Jude land?
Wait, hold on, Kev. Before you even ask that question, Jude talks to us about 5 days a week. And I don't know about you, Kev, but on the weekends, do you get a text from Jude?
No, it's a nice reprieve.
Jude doesn't text on the weekends, so
quiet. What is quiet?
What is quiet?
It's quiet
because you disappear, bro. Like,
well, I mean, I get distracted. I have to distract something from work. But on the weekends, I'm just playing my video games, relaxing, reading, watching some anime. Nothing too crazy.
So that's what's keeping you so fucking occupied? Destiny is keeping you this occupied?
Yes, pretty much.
That's what it is.
Naruto got you tied down like this? One Piece?
Yes, essentially, yes.
Before
I read the text. I read all the text. I lurk and I read all the text. So I'm reading everything.
So the weekend is when you choose to not talk?
Yo, the weekend.
That's an interesting process.
Yo, remember when LeBron would go 0 dark 30?
Yeah,
that's just on the weekend. And it's like, yo, it's like, Friday 5 p.m.
But he be there and he reads everything, but he just doesn't talk.
I'll see you guys Monday.
But Wednesday at 10:42 a.m., Jude is typing out 8-page soliloquies and text messages. Make any of this make sense?
Yo, listen. But I just want to know. I have one more question before we go forward. What books are you reading? Because I hope you're not like LeBron, right? Just opening the first page.
No, I mean, some of the books I'm reading It right now by Stephen King. That's one of the books I'm reading, It by Stephen King.
Classic.
It's pretty good so far. But I've been on a Stephen King binge these past couple of months, so I read some of the, like, Under the Dome. I know. What else was
They made a movie out. They made a movie about Under the Dome. That was
how often do you read, Jude?
How often do I read? Maybe.
Like, how many books would you say you read in a year?
3 or 4. Nothing too crazy. I'm not crazy like that.
Nah, bro. 3
or
4.
Up the book intake. Up the book intake. I'm saying that because we might make that a segment.
Oh.
Jude's book reading.
Oh, wow.
Listen, I am soliciting ideas from anybody who listens to this show. Because when Hand Egg goes away, like, I'm going to have to...
Hand Egg? We're calling it Hand Egg now?
Yeah,
oh my
football.
God.
Hand Egg, yes. Yeah, pigskin. Yeah, once that shit goes away, like, we're going to need all kind of ideas. So... If
we got the
I'm
NBA,
not saying like we're gonna put that in tomorrow, where you gotta read 72 books in a week. I'm just saying, by May, like I might be like, all right, let's put in like what did you read last and talk about it a little bit. So,
listen, it makes for great conversation. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Topical conversation. I think the podcast definitely needs a little bit more nuance. You know what I mean? People need to get to know us a little bit better. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Discord community.
Right. And talk about the Jets less. That's the most important thing. Like what you're saying is very important. I don't want to like the importance is not lost on me. But most importantly, we need to talk about something besides the motherfucking Jets. Please. Like, thank you.
I mean, we got the NBA going on. We got Kyrie Irving. We got a whole bunch
We
of
do.
Oh, we have
crazy
plenty of
stuff.
shit to talk about,
We
too.
do.
Oh, wow. That
Yeah,
was...
we
I didn't...
We
that's
do.
good.
Thank you
segue.
for that. Thank you for that, Jude.
Look at him lessening the load on cases.
Right.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I like this. I like this.
Stuff.
I like this. I like this.
Sitting in the corner just waiting for the ball. It's nice. Nice life.
Yeah, Kyrie got traded to the Mavs. The deal's not complete, however, but it's
complete now.
Yeah, I think they
complete
just
now?
finalized
Yeah, it's
it, a
complete
couple
now. It was
hours ago.
complete as of like 2 hours ago. It's complete.
okay, because I know they were talking about a third team and everything. They added a third team.
Yeah,
or
it's
not?
complete now. Yeah.
Okay, so now I could just
Yeah, you can
I could trade that. I could change that.
Yeah.
Kyrie traded to the Mavs. Yeah, but listen, we know how it started. Out of nowhere, Kyrie's like, "Hey,
That's how it works with Kyrie. Typically, out of
That's how it
nowhere,
works.
like that's what precedes everything Kyrie does. Out of nowhere, Kyrie fill in the blank here. So he does.
Right. It's like, hey, guys, I want to be traded. But apparently, I mean, it wasn't from nowhere. Joe signed, and we're talking about contract extension. I'll say this much, man. Kyrie has been the most polarizing player for the past few years. Probably more polarizing than LeBron James. Which is hard to believe because LeBron does everything. Right. Yeah. LeBron does everything to be in the forefront. Like if he's not tweeting, you know what I mean? This person who used to stop tweeting, like, his playoff him loaded, he's tweeting more, he's talking about everything more. Kyrie makes sure that he makes headlines. And but I will say this though, the whole thing with Joe Tsai and the Nets, we didn't get the language of the contract stuff, but I'm pretty sure they said some of it was tied to winning a championship,
Yeah.
It's like they definitely the relationship got sour, and it got sour quickly, and it was best for both parties to part ways. Now, just allow me just 10-15 seconds to say this. Fuck the Lakers, bro. Oh my God. Listen, as soon as I heard Kyrie want to get traded, Kyrie and LeBron are going to reunite again. The Lakers. And I was just sitting there like, if there is a God in heaven, he's going to make sure. And then as soon as I heard Dallas, like, yes. But I felt like he wasn't going to LA anyway for a couple of reasons. One, LA doesn't have the assets necessary to pull off such a deal. And
wait, hold on. You mean Russell Westbrook wouldn't have been the deal breaker?
Bro,
Russell Westbrook wouldn't have been the missing piece? Or Austin Reeves? I saw Austin Reeves in the trade package. I'm like,
bro, they were trying to tell me that the Lakers couldn't come off of somebody named Max Christie. Brother, that sounds like a Grand Theft Auto character. What are we talking? Max Christie?
People were making packages of like Russell Westbrook, the 2027 first round pick with with Kendrick Nunn. Like this is packaging anything together.
High school kids.
Right. Like nobody, come on, son. Like, Bronny James and the pick to be named later. Like, bro, it wasn't going to happen. But again, LeBron, they asked LeBron about, the trade and stuff like that. I think it's safe to say that you're not going to get the help that you need to win another championship in LA. And you pretty much have to hope that AD comes back fully healthy and you guys can make a run. I mean, those things haven't happened since the bubble. You know what I mean? Like, and it was funny because I was watching Brother from Another, and they were saying, LeBron only has 4 championships. And he was like, yeah, he has a. He was like, he's in the 5th one, right? And like, oh yeah, forgot the bubble. Forgot about the bubble.
Oh, you mean you say he had 3 because he has
3?
He has 4.
4. It's like the 4th one is like, the bubble. Nobody remembers the bubble fondly.
No, they remember when it comes time to shit on the trophy. Then it's all. It is just like, guys, we don't have to. It's very disingenuous because guess what? If pretty much damn near anybody else won the championship, nobody would care. Like we wouldn't bring it up about the fake bubble this and the fake bubble that. If the Clippers would have won the trophy, we would have stopped caring about that shit 5 seconds after the final game ended. Like we would have stopped caring about that shit, bro. Kawhi wouldn't even have had the MVP trophy up on his up in his hands like with the pose yet. By the time we'd have stopped caring. That's just how it goes. LeBron is probably he has the most haters of all like the actual great players, and the Lakers everybody hates the fucking Lakers.
Yes.
Combine them, and now you have this shit. So
Me.
yeah,
I
right.
hate
Everybody
the
hates the
Lakers.
fucking Lakers.
Thank you, Mark Cuban. I appreciate you.
But I hate Kobe stands, but that's a topic for a separate day.
Yeah, the Phoenix Suns did make an attempt to trade Chris Paul, package Chris Paul in which
I found that to be kind of interesting. But yeah.
I mean, Chris Paul has been successful everywhere he's gone. That's one thing I'll say about Chris Paul. He's been successful in every destination he's gone to. He's never fell short of expectations. He almost won a championship with Phoenix. But I mean, it's the wheels are falling off, and I think that would have been.
And he's very cantankerous. Like, don't get me wrong. When he's playing at an all-time great level, you could deal with cantankerous, and when you're familiar with him, you could deal with cantankerous. Chris Paul's really not the kind of guy I'm trying to be traded for mid-season. Like, no. I'm not trying to do that because team chemistry. People say all that shit and talk about it like when it suits them and all of that, but I imagine running Chris Paul onto a different team in February cannot be easy for anybody involved. Him, the teammates, the coaches, whoever. It can't be easy.
Right. But I think it would have been a good trade for Brooklyn, and more so Brooklyn and Phoenix, because, I mean, a trade to Phoenix works for Kyrie. There's some good marijuana out there. The Area 51. It's kind of a red state, so
you get the John McCain shirts,
right? I mean, he's in a comfortable area. That's why I didn't think he was going to LA for a lot of reasons. One of them being that LA. I mean, for somebody said the Heat. Now, for someone who's people claim to be anti-Semitic, Miami's not the place to go to. That's I mean, come on, there's a lot of Jewish people in Miami. And if we're talking about LA, it's like, hey. I don't think a big city, but Dallas is perfect. Dallas is perfect for a Kyrie Irving. Phoenix, Arizona would have been a perfect location.
Utah would have been perfect.
Mark Cuban is Jewish.
Utah would have been a paradise.
He would have been a hero out of Utah.
For who?
For Kyrie. He would have been a hero out there.
No, he wouldn't have. He's black. He would not have been no hero out there. Yeah, he might be talking the same stuff that they like to hear until he gets there.
He's a type of black.
Yeah, no, he's black. Like they can say whatever they want about like the type of black and all of that, but he's black. Let's not get it twisted.
The one funny thing about I was gonna say the one funny thing I found on Twitter about the Nets trading, I shared it with Case, was that some guy was like, "Oh yeah, KD, Kyrie." I think who was it? Spencer Dinwiddie, and then they put Paul Millsap. They all demanded the trade.
Like Dinwiddie don't belong there either. To be fair,
here, James
but
Harden.
The slipping the Millsap in there is wild.
That was so egregious, bro. Paul Millsap. What?
You know the meme with the three dragons, and you got the two regular ones, and you got the one eyes popping out. That's that meme. That's that tweet.
Or the clown soldier. The clown soldier is the favorite
clown
one.
Soldier, the clown soldier.
Yes.
Like, where did Paul Millsap come from? Like,
I don't know.
I didn't even know he demanded the trade.
Right, but Kev, you had an interesting point on Twitter. I didn't rebut it. I'm glad I didn't say anything. I kind of wanted to save it for the podcast. You kind of think that the Nets are. I mean, I did rebut the whole Nets Knicks thing, but that's something different.
Yeah, we can speak on that too. But you
were talking about like the trade wasn't bad for the Nets. Now, this is in consideration if Kevin Durant stays. Yes. Haven't been much. I don't know if anybody heard anything different. Haven't much chatter from his side about if he's unhappy or whatever. But if Durant doesn't leave, how does this trade work in the favor of the Brooklyn Nets?
Well, they got another guy who could defend, right? DFS can defend. He's a versatile defender. You need those in the NBA today, right? And Dinwiddie can credibly create his own shots. Yes, I know he's frustrating. Nets fans will tell you that himself. Every fan base that he has ever played in front of will tell you he's frustrating. But
especially the Wizards fans.
Like he can at least create a shot credibly. So we can look at what they got back and say, from a some of the parts perspective, they might be even maybe slightly worse. Like when you get rid of the best player in the trade, it's hard to say that you got better, objectively speaking. But from a purely basketball perspective, given what those two guys bring to the table, it might be better off. And also, like my point was kind of two-pronged. Like that was one of them. And the second part is I don't think the Nets are done making trade. Now, I'm speaking from a position of I am in way too many goddamn group chats. So I end up with information that I'm not really even trying to get. So like I know Nets people who know people, and they're like the Nets are basically in lockstep with the Raptors trying to get something done. Now, there's no guarantee they get anything done, but apparently they're on the line with them about Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, and OG Anunoby. So
Siakam's like a knockoff Kevin Durant. He is.
I wouldn't say knockoff Kevin Durant. I'd say something else. I don't know who to compare him to, but either way, like
he's like 6'10" and he can shoot. He can. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, but
what about the Phoenix Suns? Because I've always been hearing KD linked to the Suns. Is that still a thing, or?
Thank you for bringing it up, because Chris Haynes wrote the most needless tweet I've ever seen in my life.
He did.
Oh, the Phoenix Suns are very much still interested in Kevin Durant if he's available. No shit. No shit. Duh. No shit. And if Rihanna becomes available, we're all interested in her too. What is your point? That doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything for anybody. But I don't think the Nets are trading Kevin Durant right now. Because if the Nets, now granted, assigning clear-minded logic to the Nets, a little tricky business, right? But if you're going to trade Kevin Durant, then taking Spencer Dinwiddie and DFS doesn't make any sense, because you're not winning this year any fucking way, right? And if you're gonna trade Kevin Durant, then you should have taken the Lakers deal. Why I say that is the Lakers post LeBron are going to be a mess. So you're getting their 27 pick. I'm assuming LeBron's gone by this point, but who the fuck knows with that guy? I'm assuming 2027 he's gone, but who knows? 2029, I bet everything I have that he's gone by 29, right? So you have them 2 first-round draft picks if you're looking at it from a future perspective. They made that trade for now, which is why the Laker fans up and down whining about, oh, well, Joe Tsai, he didn't want to give Kyrie what he wanted. And it's like, is there some element of that? Sure. But the Lakers made it easy because they didn't have nothing to offer. Like, it's not like, oh, the Lakers had a clearly better offer, and the Nets were like, well, fuck you. I'm not taking your better offer. He's not going to get what he wants out of this. Then you'd have a legitimate complaint. I'm not here to say that people don't tax the Lakers or people like to do business with Lakers. I do think there's something there under the surface between LeBron being kind of the LeBron has ushered in the players being difficult movement. That's what I'm going to call it. Not player empowerment, players being difficult movement. I don't think NBA owners like Rich Paul at all. And you have all of that going with the Lakers. So I definitely think there's something there. But it doesn't apply here. The Nets are trying to make a trade that's going to make them better now while also giving them draft capital for future reasons, whether it's to trade the draft capital or to use it themselves. Russell Westbrook's not helping nobody win shit. So, and that's the best thing you got. Like Max Christie and Austin Reeves are not helping nobody win nothing, bro. So like they didn't have shit to give.
The Lakers have a bunch of guys who can't.
You said what?
The Lakers have a bunch of guys that can't shoot, and somehow they think that's going to help them.
In 2023, and it's
in
like
2023.
Did you guys? You know what? I'm gonna put on the tinfoil hat. I'm a steel case. This whole fucking floor.
I'm in my kitchen now, Kev. I'm in my kitchen now.
I think, and granted, let me make this clear because people have issues listening when it comes to anything related to LeBron. They hear what they want to hear. I am not absolving LeBron from blame for that Russell Westbrook trade because he asked for it. Let me make that fucking clear. Okay. With that said, that's been 2 years. It's been 2 years removed since they did that. Rob Pelinka was Kobe's agent. That's how he came to fame, right? Jeannie Buss and them kissed Kobe's ass even post death on a regular basis. Them two are sabotaging LeBron because they're Kobe stans. I said what the fuck I said. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well,
tell me I'm fucking wrong.
This is a hot take. Oh my goodness.
This is
a bit hot in here.
This is a hot take. Don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna tell you why I agree with Kev. Jeannie Buss, and we talked about this, put out that cryptic tweet about,
I miss Kobe. Right when LeBron was doing whatever he was doing at that point, I miss Kobe.
And people wanting to, to bring players over and stuff like that. But Kobe was in it for the long haul, which is true because Kobe played for some bad Laker teams.
Like, I'm not trying to hear that though. Kobe demanded a trade on national TV. I'm not trying to hear nothing about Kobe wanting to be there for the long haul.
No, listen.
He would have been traded if the Bulls and Lakers could have found a common ground that didn't involve Luol Deng.
Right.
So I'm not trying to hear that, but keep going.
At the same time, though, he did play on some bad teams. And he did put on the good soldier mask, and like, hey, I'm here, I'm going to play, and then I'm out. I'm retiring. I'm going to drop my 60 points in my final game, and then I'm gone. But he put on the good soldier face because he had to be a bad warrior first. You know what I mean? He was really like, yo, the Shaq feud, demanding to be traded and stuff like that. But they went out there and got Gasol for him. And he went out there and got Odom and put together a championship team. And he paid him back by staying there and being a good soldier. And being, the big brother and do whatever. LeBron, and every real Laker fan begrudgingly won't admit this. LeBron is never going to be enshrined as a Laker. When you mention the top greatest Lakers, he's not going to be enshrined as a Laker. It's a fraternity. You can't just be a Laker. Shaq is a Laker because Shaq came at a young age and he won 3 rings and it was a dynasty and all that stuff. And, the feud, whatever. But LeBron came in search of winning, in search of Hollywood, X, Y, and Z. People don't really like that. It's kind of, you know what that kind of has that feel? It's like when The Rock left WWE to go be an actor. Whenever The Rock came back, boo! He wasn't received well. He wasn't received well. So the thing about LeBron, and that's why I agree with Kev, there's no reason for Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss to be loyal to LeBron. There's zero reason. You got us the ring. Thank you.
And they're gonna make money hand over foot any fucking way. They're gonna make money hand over foot any fucking way. And he's him and Anthony whenever he plays is keeping them competitive. So it's not even like they're bottoming out either.
Right.
So it's like, and now don't get me wrong, I fully admit my conspiracy that I cooked up in my own mind. Some of it is trolling. Like, do I actually believe it? No, I will tell you what I do believe. Well, I don't believe it wholly. I think that there's a little bit there.
There's some legs
I just think them two people are idiots. Like, I think Jeannie Buss is a fucking idiot, and I think Rob Pelinka's a fucking idiot. Personally, that's just how I feel about it. But they're watching two Kobe stans sabotage LeBron is not lost on me. Like, I see it.
Dr. Umar.
I see what they're trying to do. I see it.
Hey,
you don't find that
you pull the wool over their eyes, but you can't see it.
Yo, Jude. Whenever Umar says anything that ends with the letter S, you ever notice that he goes,
yes,
gifts, donations.
To go back.
Umar starts to repeat himself. It gets very funny. But go ahead, Drew.
To go back to the Nets a little bit, I think the fascinating thing to me is the fact that the Nets and arguably three of the best players in the current NBA at the time, and people still cared significantly more about the Knicks than they did the Nets. And like when you went to, I went to the Bucks Nets first playoff game, I got seats with Jesus for like $100, and I'm pretty sure like for most other, I was sitting with Marlon too with the Sting mask and everything, but I'm pretty sure for most playoff games in the NBA, it's a bit more expensive than $100 to sit up there. And it's like,
bro, you can't, bro, you for certain matchups with regards to the Knicks, you can't get in the building for $100, bro. Like I was bored. I was looking up Nick Laker tickets last week, and like quite literally the last row was like $275. The last row in the place, bro, where you could sit there and talk to God, it was $275.
You have to know somebody, a season ticket holder, and make sure. Listen, we went to Eddie Curry. This is when Eddie Curry was on the Knicks. Like,
and you were actually going to Knicks games,
bro. We got free tickets. We went to the game.
Okay. So you weren't like Jude was paying to watch like Bryce Petty and them. Okay, my bad.
But that year, I think LeBron was still in Cleveland. That year, people were paying top dollar just to see Melo come play against the Knicks. LeBron come, Kobe come. No one's like that, and that's why the Garden's value and the Knicks being who they are is always going to be. People are like, oh, why are the Knicks still around? And Dolan, listen, the Knicks are the talk of the town, regardless of what the Nets do. And the Nets have failed twice. And correct. Kev, now we can get to the point where we're talking about.
Yes, we can.
I'm not going to say what you said verbatim, but you were kind of saying that the Knicks aren't in a place to talk.
They're not in a position to gloat the way that they gloat. Laughing at the Nets is whatever. We can all laugh at the fucking Nets. It's funny. It's objectively funny. Like 3 people demanded trades off the Nets in 1 year. Oh, anybody could laugh at that. I don't give a fuck what team you were for at that point. But like the gloating is like, guys, like we dodged a bullet. Bro, if Kevin Durant wanted to be on the Knicks tomorrow, you're gonna see a million photoshops of Kevin Durant in the Knicks jersey. So we don't gotta lie to kick
it. I don't think it's more of a dodge the bullet. I think it was this. I think it's the fact that ever since the Nets came to Brooklyn, it's been we're going to dethrone the Knicks. Ever since Jay-Z said, the city's under new management. You have one Russian billionaire and they have a Chinese billionaire now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Nets are ran by Bingo and the Traveling All-Stars. There's never been an NBA mind to operate and control the Nets, I should say. But there's been a lot of talk that they're going to be the talk of the town. Now, the reason why Knicks fans are gloating now, because Kevin Durant literally said the Knicks aren't relevant. They aren't relevant. Now, you can't be valued as the number 1 or number 2. I don't know, it always changes. The number 1 or number 2 franchise in the NBA and say you're not relevant.
Didn't he say that the Knicks aren't cool? Isn't that what he said? That's a direct quote. Right? He said the Knicks aren't cool.
I think he said relevant. I'm not sure if he said cool or not.
He said cool. Like I don't know if he said both. I know that the one that I remember was when he said the Knicks weren't cool, and Knicks fans were living in his mentions like some locusts for the entire day. But keep on.
But so you went with the homie. Kyrie said, "Hey, come play with us," and Harden comes along, and people are saying Harden saw the writing. No, he didn't. Harden did not see the writing on the wall. Harden went to daddy. That's what Harden went to go. To daddy. we know
Daryl Morey?
Daryl Morey. Okay. He went to daddy. Daddy went to Philadelphia.
I think it's a combo of both.
I
think it's a combo of both. Like I think he wanted to play for Daryl Morey again. I think he wanted to reunite on that front. And I think he got sick of Kyrie's shit. Because I don't think him and Kyrie ever actually meshed personality-wise. Because Harden, I mean, look at James Harden. Look at how he acts. Look at the stuff that he does. And then look at the shit that Kyrie be talking about. Obviously they didn't fucking mesh. Like you got Kyrie walking around burning sage. Of course James Harden will look at him funny. Of course he is.
Kyrie was taking PTO. I remember like the 2020-2021 season, he was taking PTO.
He took time off and ended up at a birthday party with no mask on in the height of the pandemic. Like,
my sister's birthday coming up.
I'm
calling out. Can you imagine calling out an NBA game? How do you call out an NBA game?
Intro management. Load management. That's what Kawhi and Paul George are doing.
True. Like, hey, man, I need a mental health day. Because, I mean, what are you going to do? Argue with that? Oh, you can't, right? Like, you can't really argue with that.
But, I mean, that's what it was, man. Like Kevin Durant had a chance to come to the Knicks, and he would have been a god. You see what he did with Carmelo, and you're better than Carmelo. You would have been a god. You would have won 50 games. You would have been at least to the second round. And people would have worshipped you. Would it have been bad if you had lost and then win a chip? Yeah, of course. Fans are insatiable. But you would have been a Knick playing at the Mecca, Spike Lee courtside. It would have been better. That's all. It would have been better if you came to New York and you went to Brooklyn, and everybody's talking about Brooklyn. And Brooklyn, and I've said this. That's not a Brooklyn team. People know the Knicks are cursed. They're not cursed. They're not from Brooklyn. They're from Jersey. They're not from Brooklyn. They'll never prosper. Brooklyn, I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised in Brooklyn. You can't claim Brooklyn in your 20s. You can't claim Brooklyn in your 30s.
Says you
can't. I said so. Me. You can't claim Brooklyn. Listen, I live in the Bronx right now. The first thing comes out of my mouth, I don't know about the Bronx. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm moving back to Brooklyn this year. You can't claim a whole Jordan is.
So if I move to Brooklyn, I can't claim Brooklyn?
You can't claim Brooklyn.
Why?
You can't claim Brooklyn. Because
you just fierce gatekeeping. Wow.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there are some people who can't claim Brooklyn. I mean, they're usually like the gentrifiers and the people from like Iowa coming here. But I mean,
the white people.
Dude,
keep going.
You have to be in Brooklyn for at least 20 years.
Oh,
so that means if you came here in your 30s, you can't claim Brooklyn until you're in your 50s.
Damn.
Jeez. What if I'm 5 years in and I'm all about Brooklyn? Like I can't claim it?
You might get a pass, but it depends. It depends.
Does it depend on what area you live in? So, like, if you're in Williamsburg, I could get that. But what if you're in East New York? What if you're in the trenches?
If you move, listen, let me say right now.
Yeah, if you voluntarily live in East New York, like, buddy, like move to East New York. On top of that, like, if you voluntarily move to East New York, you on some different kind of time. I'm not here to tell nobody who lives in East New York on purpose or moves to East New York on purpose. I'm not here to tell them nothing. Like, you got it, man. Anything they say is true. Anything they say is fact. I don't care what they say. Anything they say is fact. Oh, you're a 5'9" white guy, Kev. Like, all right, I believe you.
I believe you.
I don't want no smoke, bro. I believe you.
East New York was like the last place they gentrified. They try hard, but I mean that's I always felt like, you know, the Nets coming to Brooklyn was something that was just. I mean, what was his? I forgot the older name, but he wanted to move to Brooklyn for a long time. You know, think about Jay-Z on stuff. People know Jay-Z sold. I know he did.
But Ratner was owner, right?
Ratner wanted to move to Brooklyn. He knew about these guys are real estate moguls and stuff like that. He knew about the train yard. No one's using it. He wanted to move to Brooklyn. What Jay-Z was just a sugar with the medicine. That was all. It was like, hey, you know, put some sugar on it. You know, put Jay-Z in his Timbs and sit on the Nets logo, and you know, let them come to Brooklyn, right? But we all knew exactly what it was when the Nets come to Brooklyn. It was a start of gentrification. People wasn't really feeling that. You know what I mean? They tried to put together a big 3, big 4. It didn't work. They tried again. They played 13 games, and they broke it up, right? Kevin Durant is loyal to the soil. He was talking about, trade me. I don't want to be here because Kyrie, you know, if Kyrie's unhappy, I'm unhappy. Have you noticed how quiet it's been? Have you noticed
for once? For somebody who tweets as much as Kevin Durant tweets, it's always interesting when he chooses to be quiet. But yeah.
Because even KD's like, okay, all right, man. All right, bro. You know what I mean? These, you know, I roll with
big
you.
Big time, my name Bennett, and I ain't in it kind of energy. Right. Big time. Right. Like, I ain't in that shit, bro.
Right. You know what I mean? So I get it. And I think a part of it for the Knicks fans are just saying, you know, you could have came and played for us. And if you played for us, whether you won a championship or not, if you put up your best effort, you would have been beloved. And that was it. Like, Melo is beloved. He's solidified. And he's solidified because he scored the most in the Garden. He doesn't solidify because he won a championship. Hey, you know what? That record that was hanging over our heads that LeBron had, that Kobe had.
Wait. He's solidified because Knicks fans are losers. Can we just can we admit it? Oh,
it looks like, wow, that really triggered the case. He's gone now. Damn.
All right, so I guess I got to keep talking. Oh, I guess I got to keep talking. Okay, there.
Bro, as soon as he was saying something, the whole connection just went.
And it was great timing, too. He literally said Knicks fans were losers. And
Knicks fans are losers. That's why Melo solidified. Knicks fans are losers.
Damn.
You got to ride with your team, man. You got to ride with your team. You got to ride with your team.
That's fine, but y'all are losers, though, and y'all like losers. Like, this is not – I don't think this should be controversial. That's why Melo was there for, like, what, 6 years? And they won one playoff series, and he's revered. Because y'all are losers. People who took the mantle would not be revering somebody who – bro, LeBron won the Lakers a championship, and Laker fans like, fuck this guy. Now, granted, there's a lot of other stuff that goes into this, but you know what I mean. Ultimately, they're like, like, yo, fuck this guy. We don't rock with this guy. He ain't one of us. Like, he ain't on their team. Like, he ain't one of us. Carmelo been out of here for like however many years, and Knicks fans still lying about Carmelo. Still,
Melo took the mantle. That's what he did. He took the mantle.
Took the mantle. Did what with it? Spit on it? What did he do with the mantle?
He scored.
Dropped
61.
It. Kicked it. What did he do with it?
He scored 61. Kev, let me have this.
I'm never gonna let you have this on Carmelo Anthony. Never. No chance.
Oh,
no.
Listen,
he's solidified. Yeah, because y'all are losers. Y'all like losers. It fits.
Kev, you're a Knicks fan. You need a hug. You know who else needs
I'm not a Knicks fan. Don't do that.
John Moran needs a hug. John Moran needs a fucking hug.
He needs something. But yeah, go ahead.
It was cute with the whole Shannon Sharp thing. It was cute. You know what I mean? It was cute. But I don't know if this is a youth thing. You guys can tell me because you guys are younger than me. Mm-hmm. But what point in time do you just say, I don't care about the money I'm making. I don't care. Like he doesn't give a fuck about nothing. Like he doesn't care. Is this a you thing, like him not caring about you have an opportunity, like all the elder statements, the Currys and the LeBrons and the Durants and the Kyries, the guys who are getting older. This can be your league in the next 3 to 5 years. Why are you trying to be something? I'm not gonna say that he's not.
I will. I will. He ain't. He got a $200 million contract. He ain't in the trenches.
I'm not gonna say that he's not tough
or
he's not a thug or whatever. I'm not gonna say that because I don't want to talk about anybody's character because I don't know how he was raised in his background. But I would say
he was raised in the suburbs. I can tell you how he was raised. 2 parents in the home. He ain't this.
But I will say
he scribbled in a notepad and got his life, bro. Like that's what this is. It's called. He scribbled in his notepad and created his life. Yes, bro. Like, that's what
I showed you your first tech or 2 with Lars the Professor.
Yes.
So I will say with Ja Morant, the thing I was thinking about a lot is that just in terms, I think, and this is going to sound crazy, he kind of reminds me a little bit about how Marshawn Lynch was, but hold on, except for the fact that Marshawn Lynch seemed more authentic in how he was represented. Like, yeah, he was from the trenches and everything. He was from those areas, but it didn't seem disingenuous. Like with Ja Morant, it's very disingenuous to talk about, oh yeah, I'm just using colloquial stuff here. I'm going to spin the block. I got a block waiting. I got a block waiting for you. And I got a block waiting for you. He's talking about PowerPoint bullets like he's from Resident Evil or something.
Yo, hold on. I want to see what more slang you got. That's what I want to see. I'm willing to shut up. I will even mute my mic. I just want to hear what more slang you got.
I just said spin the block. That's the only thing I can think about was spinning the block and the fact he got hollow point bullets. I remember he had a tweet about like hollow point bullets and like
he
did.
He said it's free to see how hollows feel is what he said.
And the thing is that he's a great basketball player, but I'm not one to talk about exactly this greatest physique out here, but looking at his frame, if Ja Morant comes walking in the dark alley, no one's gonna be like, "Oh my God, it's Ja Morant! I'm so scared."
All I'll say is, on that note, bullets don't discriminate. So it really, how somebody's built only matters if you're talking about one-on-one head-up fights. In these kind of cases, we're not talking about one-on-one head-up fights at all. Because he's telling you he'll shoot. Apparently, that's what he's telling you. Even though he grew up in the suburbs in a stable home with 2 fucking parents around, and he now has $200+ million, and we're just sitting here acting like he's a fucking gangster. Look, man. None of these NBA players are about this. None of these NFL players. Well, all right, let me rephrase that. None of these rich, like the people who are drafted in round 7, I don't know what the fuck they do in their spare time. Maybe they in the trenches for real. I don't know. These people who are at the top of the sport, whether it's performance and most likely pay, they're not about this. There's Aaron Hernandez, who football was his side gig. All right, and then there's everybody else, like quite literally everybody else. It was just him. Aaron Hernandez was the only person doing gangster shit while on the clock, or technically not on the clock, but you know what I mean. While on the clock,
you forgot Ray Lewis. I don't know if you willingly forgot him, but
Ray Lewis had one instance. I'm gonna just leave it as such. I ain't gonna say nothing more. He had one instance. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
But I get where you're coming from, Kevin. I think that's the big thing too. It's like, and I'm sure we'll talk about this a bit later. The basketball fights, like you look at half of these basketball fights, you're not doing anything. You're not doing shit. You're just running around saying, "Yeah, do something, do something." That's pretty much what it is these days. And with Ja Morant, it's just like, come on now.
But this is bigger than a basketball fight, though, Jim. Yeah. This is what we got right here.
Oh, nice.
It's the Pacers situation, right? Mm-hmm. It basically, 2 members of the traveling party who spoke to the Athletic said that they did not see who shined the laser from the SUV. They also don't know if the laser was attached to a gun, but they believe it was. A Pacer security guard in the loading area at the time remarked, "That's 100% a gun. We felt we were in grave danger." One person who was present said. The 2 sources who spoke to the Athletic requested anonymity because they fear retribution from those who confronted them. They say they considered filing a report to police, but decided against it for the same reason. The Pacers did alert the NBA, and the league spokesperson Mike Bass told the Athletic that the league probed the matter. Yeah. I mean, we're entering a zone of what the fuck.
Hey man, John Morant needs to realize he's a basketball player. He's not. He's not a YSL member. Like he needs to realize like this. You're a basketball player. You're a basketball player worth $200 million. And also, not for nothing. And I've seen the joke written a bunch of times since whatever yesterday. Yesterday was when this happened. Yeah. David Stern would never let this happen. David Stern would never have one of the faces of the league running around talking about hollow tips and I just got to take his temperature or whatever corny shit John Morant said as far as
so John's running around like he's Pac. So he's running around like he's Tupac.
And he's not. Like he's running around like he's Tupac. You're not. Like you're not. You grew up in a state 2-parent household in the fucking suburbs, and you're now in the NBA making $40 million a year. You are not hard. Nobody believes you. Nobody believes you. Like you need a whole lot more people, bro. Nobody fucking believes you. Like and if you have to ditch, because here's the thing, some of his people they look like they're involved in that kind of stuff. Okay, then you got to ditch those people because you don't want to be along with that and getting in trouble for that. Look, man, as I said, David Stern would never let this happen. David Stern had Carmelo in his office. Like, listen, this guy. We know what they're all up to. Are you like? Here it is. You could make this kind of money. Here are the projections for like the next 15 years. You want to be this or you want to be running around the Baltimore streets? Choose. And Carmelo was like, damn, you know that much about my people? And then we never really heard about Carmelo on bullshit ever again. David Silver never let that. Adam Silver too busy talking about in-season tournaments and all other kind of bullshit and low management to be actually focused on the hard-hitting issues. You're one of the best players in your league, and one of the faces of your league is a studio gangster. You have to step in and stop it. He invented his life in a notepad. What are we doing here?
Do you think, I mean, with the faces of the league stuff, I feel like that's the thing that's kind of really preventing him from being more marketed than how he is now, you know? If you get what I'm saying. Like, it feels like...
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I think he hasn't won yet. I think that's part of it, too.
Like, if he's ever up for contention for, like, an MVP or something, I'm not sure. If he's ever up there, I don't think these guys would be voting for him.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, he has a signature. He has a signature shoe, so he's doing quite fine on the marketing side of things. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be voted for MVP no time soon.
Yes.
Oh no! John Moran is doing himself no favors with this type of situation. But I mean, if you go on YouTube right now, when you put gang ties NBA, there's some video of somebody throwing up, gangs. I think John Wall's blood. I think Jason Terry's Crip. You know what I mean? Like, if you're from the inner cities where most of these guys are recruited from, I'm pretty sure that there are people who are real. I think was it Jackson or whatever was supposed to be blood or whatever case may be. Yeah. But like you said, he's from the suburbs. Again, I don't want to negate whatever toughness he feels or whatever that is, because I don't think because you come from a 2-parent household that you can't be, tough or gangster or whatever.
Oh no, he's tough. Hey man, he's tough. Like, you got to be mentally tough to get to where he got to. Period. I don't even care like where it originated from. Like, you got to be mentally tough to be a hooper at that higher level and get to that higher level. Now, with that said, he ain't no thug. And that's okay. I don't know why you want to be one. You in the NBA making $40 million a year. Why do you want to be a thug? Why do you want to be tweeting at random kids named Timmy talking about hollow tips? Why? Like, why? It's very confusing. Why? Like, I understand NBA players, some of them might not like being called soft because there's a lot of that. I understand that. But, there's a lot of room between soft and I'm going to threaten people on the internet. Whole lot of room. Find some of the room and operate in it. It can't be that hard.
Especially with guys like threatening other NBA players, like red dots on NBA. Like what are we doing? What are we doing?
And then John Red is like, there was they investigated and we found out there was cap. Who is we? They suspended them for a year. Who is we? They suspended for a year, a whole fucking year. Who is we? So after the investigation, they suspended him. It wasn't like it was before, and then they didn't find nothing. They're just like, you know what? Just to save face, we're going to keep suspended. No, after they did the probe, they found out and suspended it. Now, the screenshot you just showed, what makes me uncomfortable is that some of that sounds like the good old cops were afraid of black people language. So it was like, I don't know, but it's like it's multiple people and it's in this kind of setting. I don't think they have a whole lot of incentive to lie. But like it did make me cringe a little bit. Like this sounds exactly like right out of the white cop playbook. Right out of it.
Whatever it is, the NBA needs to nip it in the bud now. Like now. It needs to stop. And like the John Morant stuff, like I said, it was cute when his dad and stuff like he was making jokes. It was funny. You know what I mean? Because listen, at the end of the day, if it comes down to fisticuffs of people fighting, that's fine. People walk away from fights all the fucking time. You know what I mean? But when it comes to like, yo, you know, this is like we're beyond fighting now. We're beyond fighting. Like fighting, I am a pro advocate for fighting. Put your dick beaters up and let's get it shaken. You know what I mean? But
put your dick beaters up. Wow, I've never heard that one. I know. Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
I have never in my life heard that.
Beaters up is.
Shout out to my man Keith. I love it. He always would say that. Put your dick beaters up. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you about that, listen. That's a slogan. Shout out, salute. If you about to actually fight, you know what I mean? I'm cool with fights, and Kev loves NBA fights, and so do I. NBA fights are amazing, guys. They're amazing. NBA fight night. There's fight ever since Kev said, you know, fight. You need fights back. Boom.
We got two of them.
Action. We got two of them. Double header on the card. First up, Austin Rivers versus Mo Bamba. Now, the funniest thing about the whole Austin Rivers versus Mo Bamba thing is that Austin Rivers gave some material about coming down to Orlando of all places.
Listen,
like
that man was acting like he was Jay Prince, bro.
I better not see you in Disneyland,
bro. Like, yo, you better not be running around a pop cup. You better not be running around a pop cup. I got people in a pop cup.
I just don't get I just don't get NBA fights. It's just, I mean, a lot of these guys go to very affluent schools and like the AAU ball and everything. They're playing around. I don't get why they're doing all this shit. Like it's just so contrived. I don't know.
Disrespect is disrespect. I mean, disrespect is disrespect. People will react to disrespect how they react to disrespect.
But at least make the fights worth something. Like most of these fights we're seeing on the NBA court are just like them shoving over each other. Like
very true. Most of these people are not trying to fight. I'll at least respect Donovan Mitchell, Austin Rivers, and Mo Bamba. Fuck the other guy listed here. Yeah. But them three, I respect them. At least they trying to fight. Like it was poor. It was a poor attempt at a fight. But
like everyone else is like literally like stumbling over them and like trying their best to like rip them off. And it's like
all I know is I didn't know that Jalen Suggs was a former football player until Friday night. But once I saw his takedown, like I knew he was a former football player. I was like, yo, that's not a basketball player takedown, bro. Like he took that man down and that was it. And he was out of the frame. I was like, yeah, he's been a tackler.
Terrell Suggs?
He might be. I don't like. Yeah, asked that on a show I was watching. I don't know if he is or he isn't, but like it might be. It runs in his blood. That was a hell of a tackle.
I don't know who got suspended. I'm pretty sure Mo Bamba probably going to get suspended because he was like.
Mo Bamba got suspended 4 games.
Right, he was on the bench, right?
Rivers, I want to say, was 3.
Isn't this the second fight the Magic are involved in? Like I'm almost certain they were involved in the fight with the Pistons this year.
Yes, I can't remember who was involved, but it was like near the sideline.
It was Mortiz Wagner, and then who was it?
It was Mo Wagner. Oh, it was Mo Wagner.
What's that kid's name?
I don't know the Detroit player as well.
It was some guard that they have. I can't remember.
Killian Hayes.
I think it was him. Yeah, it was him. It's him. Killian Hayes.
Yeah. But the Magic are always getting into fights. I mean, I'm sorry, your team's not.
Hey, they make the game spicy, I guess, because they're not very good.
Young team. Listen, they're a young team with some talent. They're going to be in a. And I can't pronounce his name.
How you pronounce his name? Banchero. I'll say his last.
Banchero. You got Mo Bamba
Wagner's doing his thing.
Wagner, you got
Franz Wagner,
Bobo, Bobo, stuff like that. Yeah, so you got guys, and then of course they might get what's his name? Wembanyama.
Wembanyama. Wembanyama.
Yeah, the
pronunciation expert on this podcast,
the resident orator. Even though I have a certificate proficiency in oratory, I'm going to butcher your name. But no, listen. To your point, Jude, I don't get NBA fights, but as someone who played ball a little bit, I got into a fight one time because one dude, he was kind of like fouling my teammates, and I was not really like, jumping ahead, like, oh, whatever. But I fouled him intentionally, not hard. I grabbed him, like I give him a little bear hug, to stop his motion. He was dribbling. He kind of got by me, so I just grabbed him. Harmless. Hey, you beat me, bro. You beat me. Grab the shirt, grab the arm, whatever. When I let go, I walked away, and he turned. He approached me like he wanted to fight. So I walked away. I turned my back, but then it clicked like he wants to fight. But what I did, which is wrong, guys, PSA, which is wrong. There was a folding chair in front of me, and I folded it, and I was going to do one of the WWE shots. Yeah, and somebody grabbed the chair. Like somebody, literally, the chair's here. Somebody grabbed the chair, and I just felt like my hands go free. I was gonna lay him out. I was gonna lay him out with this chair.
So you were about to do your best Triple H impersonation.
Kev. As guys, my witness. Shout out to my man Pinky. Shout out to Pinky. Shout out to Kamar. Shout out to Nova. People who grew up and who know me, who were there that night when I was about to go WWE on the chair with this dude. For no reason, and I think it wasn't for no reason, but just to say, like it, you don't need a reason when everything is pumping and your blood is pumping and stuff like that. Whatever. It's split section. It's split second. Reaction. And I'm just like, hey, I'll hit this dude here.
That's 0 to 100. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I did.
That's the crazy escalation.
Bro, I lost it, but but the fights are never without reason, because sometimes it's just a team comes in, they walk into your gym, and the star of the team is talking shit, and it's like, I'm gonna foul you. Yeah, I'm gonna foul you hard. I'm gonna foul you hard. Like the guys came to our gym and it's like, yo, this dude, he was like 6'4", he was like dunking in pregame and stuff like that. And I'm like, he's soft, I'm gonna foul him. That's what I did. I said he was soft, and I fouled him. I fouled him hard, hit him right in the ribs. Bow, elbow to the ribs. I fouled him because he was talking mad shit. Now. People may not, you couldn't have stopped him. No, he's 6'4", bro. I'm not going to stop him, but I'm going to feel my elbow to his ribs.
Sometimes the NBA needs more enforcers these days. Like, this is a random thing, but I feel like the NBA is missing just that random big guy whose only job it is to foul the other person. Like, you're not expected to score, you're expected to foul. You collect 6 fouls, you go to the bench, and so that way the stars can actually play. That's what the NBA needs. That's what the NBA needs now.
Yeah, guys are getting paid to collect 6 fouls.
They call too many flagrant fouls for all of that.
Yeah,
that's the biggest problem with that, and why that has kind of gone from the game. And also, like, the NBA prioritizes skill in a way that they didn't in the 1990s. Before. There was a whole lot of dudes in the NBA who were there just because they were big and tough, and there wasn't nothing else. Like, I'm not saying Charles Oakley necessarily falls into that, because at least he can make a jumper, but. Kind of what he was. Like, he was an enforcer guy. Like, he was not there because of his skill. He was there because, if you fuck with one of ours, he was going to fuck with one of yours, or 2 of yours, or 4 of yours. He was going to fuck with all of y'all. That's why he was there.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Boss Rivers getting dropped, though. He talked way too crazy for somebody who is probably in the NBA and has been getting a lot of checks because he's Doc Rivers' kid. And he talks too crazy for me, bro. You're like an 8th or 9th man on a good team. Relax a little. Just stop.
Stop making threats about Orlando.
Like, he's a more harmless Dylan Brooks, basically. Like, Dylan Brooks does all that talking, but then will actually harm you on the court, like we saw last week.
Yeah. So the Dylan Brooks situation was funny because it looked like he did what Bomani Jones calls insufficient daddying and went for the nuts.
Man,
yeah. You never kick a man or hit a man in the nuts. It's just something that you just don't do.
And he tried to roll up on his fucking ankle before that too. On top of it, like, he's so bad.
Yeah, bad. And Donovan, I mean, he didn't throw a punch. Like, he kind of like shoulder pushed him, or whatever. I wish he had thrown a punch. You know what I mean? Because a nut shot,
and connected.
We all know.
Yeah.
Right. We're all men in this chat. Like, a nut shot it's not pleasant. Even I got an 18-month-old. I've been kicked in the nuts more times in the past 8 months than I've ever been in my entire life. So, so it's not pleasant, bro. Like to me
at all.
Yeah, right. Like
you got to
hey,
uncross your eyes and all that.
Bow,
Like, you got to
right,
uncross
like,
your eyes
it's
after that. Like it takes a second, bro.
Did you
Like,
freeze?
you get kicked in the nuts. You got like,
It takes
oh
a second.
shit. You seeing
Yeah.
doubles and all that for a couple seconds. Like, nah, man, it's not great. I would wish that on nobody.
So, but when Kevin was saying that Dylan Brooks is the guy that when Ja is out and Jackson is out and it's the time he just
It's Dylan
flubs
Brooks
it.
time.
And
That's what he says.
Dylan Brooks time, and
He's the
Dylan
worst.
Brooks time is more so about him just being a horrible player and doing the worst things. And
But a great
Donovan
bricklayer.
got-
Horrible player, but a great bricklayer. A horrible
But
player.
Donovan got tired of it. Like, yo, come on, bro. Like, again,
Like the thing is, he looked back right before he did it too. Like he had a good
Right.
idea of what was going on. And I
Mhm.
was like, how could you deem intent? It's
You
like you
just-
guys can't be this dense, can you? Like he looked backwards before he did it. He looked behind him before he fucking did it, and then all of a sudden, and also not for nothing, the human anatomy. I'm not an expert on it, but like we don't really run around with closed fists when we're just trying to get up. That's not how things work. And he
No.
just happened to have a closed fist
No.
when he was trying to punch him in the dick. But we don't know intent.
Yeah.
Why
He looked-
we don't have to defend
Whoopsie.
him. We really don't.
Whoopsie.
Whoops.
Mm-mm-mm.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Oop, I tripped and
get
fall
up,
and hit your
my hand
balls.
goes like this, bro. Like our hands go like that.
I
You said
tripped
what?
and fall and hit you. I tripped and fall and hit your balls.
That's what he said, apparently. It's just,
Legit.
oh,
Tripping and falling, I'm hitting his balls. Yeah, legit. Like he's not fooling nobody, man. Like this is what he does. This is what he always fucking does, man. Like he is a dirty fucking player. And on top of that, he's not particularly good. Like he can defend a little bit. I'll give him that. But like, okay, then he's gonna shoot like 40% from the field, and then God forbid one of their actual major offensive players is out. Oh my, he gonna throw up about 17, 18 bricks in a night. If Desmond Bane's out, God bless. John Morant's out, even worse. He's gonna throw up about 18, 20 bricks that night and maybe kick somebody in the dick as well. He's the worst. I wish that guy had the worst. I wish him the
But with
worst.
that,
I hope his breakfast is terrible tomorrow morning. But yeah, carry on. Go ahead.
with that in mind, though, got to ask this question: outside of the Malice in the Palace, what are you guys' favorite sports brawls?
Jude. Go.
So my favorite sports brawl, this was a couple of years ago, and it's so funny. It was during the COVID year. It was the Bears versus Saints game. I don't know if you remember Javon Williams, and then the Eagle, who's one of the Eagles now, Gardner Johnson or whoever that was. There was this fight in which they show the replay, and it's pretty much like Williams goes up to Gardner Johnson, takes out his mouthpiece, punches him, and then when Gardner Johnson has this cartoon, he's like, what was this? And then they just get into the full. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I remember
Yes.
it vaguely. You know what? Keep talking. I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, but that shit was just funny, not because of the fight. The fight itself was relatively mediocre, but just how it started. That shit was like straight out like some cartoon or something, or some like skit where it's like you're just like, this guy really just. He had this look like, did this guy really just punch me? And then they just went into a full brawl. But that was probably one of my favorite fights, just for how absurd it is. I feel like most fights aren't like, I don't know. You want to see more when there's a fight on the field. Like hockey, it's great for the fights. Like you see them going at it. But every other sport is just like,
Oh yeah, hockey. Hockey
Yeah,
is
like,
real, yeah.
like the hockey players are fighters.
Yeah,
The NBA players and MLB players are just people trying to fight. There's a big difference there.
Mhm.
I think if I would say one of my favorites was and this is recent memory, baseball. The pitcher from the Cardinals. No, the Reds. Was
Amir Garrett.
Amir Garrett. Oh my God. He was
take on
ready.
the entire city of Pittsburgh. But yeah, keep going.
When you talk about somebody's like on site, like I'm ready, like he was ready to fight. And the fact that he was like, all right, bro, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going straight to their dugout, and I'm just going to start throwing bows. And if you're with me, you're with me. If not, I'm still going.
You're not.
That was that was to me one of the best ones because he really meant that shit. And me, as someone who played sports,
and he gave them ample. He gave them ample time. It wasn't. He must have. He came from off the mound to the dugout.
Off the mound. He got tossed. He got tossed in the game. Right, he got tossed in the game, and he was like, "Yo, I'm going to fight."
No, I'm not from the game yet. Like he was free to pitch, and then he did that, and then he got tossed. No, he's
right.
Yeah,
but that to me is like someone who plays sports. If you're going to fight, and that's what you're coming to for the purpose of, then do it. Don't pussyfoot around. Oh, I'm a shove you and grab you. No, let's throw bows. He threw the glove, and he was throwing bows. Shout out to Amir Garrett. That's one of my favorite sports brawls, man. I love that
one. Two come to mind, both in the NBA. One, when Chris Childs knocked Kobe Bryant, well, not knocked him out, but he gave him the two-piece
and a biscuit.
Yeah, he gave him the two-piece without the biscuit, just fresh two-piece. Like, yeah. Like I wasn't too fond of Kobe Bryant. I'm not gonna say nothing bad about him now because I don't want to be doxxed. So I'm leaving the Kobe stands alone. Don't come after me. Don't at me. None of that shit. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't like it at that time. Keywords. So, he was doing his little jawing and this, that, and the third. And and Chris Childs retold the story. He was like, "Hey, I told him like, hey, if you fuck with me, I'm gonna take off on you, young fella." Is his direct quote. I'm gonna take off on you, young fella. And he told him that like 3 times. Then Kobe didn't take heed to the warning, and then he got it upside the head. That was enjoyable. And then the second one I mentioned is not even so much the fight. The fight was a typical 90s fight. You had people throwing haymakers, and it's a regular season game, and everybody is mad for whatever the reasons. But it was the 93 Knicks, I believe, and the Suns. The only reason I bring that up is because Greg Anthony was inactive, mind you, in street clothes, and he had this loud ass party shirt, and he coming off the bench and he throwing haymakers at Kevin Johnson with this loud ass party shirt on, and it's so fucking funny. Like he's being restrained by like 4 people, looking like he's either coming from a club or going to a club, and it was very fucking funny. But there's so many good brawls though. Like you could get lost on YouTube in the meanest rabbit hole just looking through brawls, because you have like Jude mentioned one that I hadn't thought about. You mentioned one that I didn't forget about, but I hadn't thought about in a while either. That's just you get really deep. That happened, so on and so forth. Bring back like enough of this pushing and hold me back, bro, hold me back. Enough.
And just Jalen Rose, hold me back,
hold me back.
Yeah, that's and don't do what the Miami Heat. I have to bring this up every time. Don't do what the Miami Heat did and just pretend to go to a locker room and try to enforce something. We don't need to do the photo op.
For a franchise that was with the shits, that was probably the worst thing that ever happened, because
that was
Heat
so
Knicks.
whack, dog.
Yeah, Heat Knicks fighting. You know what I mean? The 90s NBA brawls are always fucking good. Like Jordan trying to rake Reggie Miller's face off was one of those things. That, like,
Jeff ain't gonna be trying to hang from Alonzo Mourning's leg. Not actually hang from Alonzo Mourning's leg is one of like the prevailing images from my childhood watching basketball. Like just every time I think of Knicks Heat, like I just see Jeff hanging on to his leg. It's the best.
But the sports fights are fun. I'm not person. There's no part of the game we're fighting. I'm not one of those guys. Like sports fights are fun. Happy fights. Just it's a high testosterone environment, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're going to fight, bro. Like this is just one of those things, man. Some sad news. AJ Green finally retires. He calls it quits. Past 4 seasons maybe, it's just been bad for him. Somebody who was really exciting, who was really like, who a lot of people thought would. I mean, he may or may not be a Hall of Famer. I don't know the NFL standards right now, especially with these seasons. Yeah, but yeah, man, AJ Green calls it quits. Definitely a banged up body. Made a lot of his bones playing in Cincinnati with
Andy Dalton,
quarterback name Andy Dalton,
Drew's favorite quarterback. Oh, sorry,
who's still in the,
second favorite quarterback
still in the league. But he's retiring with 727 catches, 10,000 yards, 70 touchdowns. I don't think it's enough because Keyshawn Johnson had 70 touchdowns. He's not a Hall of Famer. He did start his season with 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Then he got hurt in the second year. Then he came back. He was a 7-time Pro Bowler. He didn't do much in Arizona. His best year was 54 catches, 840 yards, 3 touchdowns. He didn't do much, man. He's retired at the age of 34. Good career. Solid career.
I will say AJ Green. I mean, I didn't even realize he retired today until Kev sent the agenda. It just happened. It was just like no fanfare apparently. But the big thing with AJ Green, he was a good receiver. I mean, I'm not great in terms of like judging receivers like Hall of Fame and whatnot, but I will say one memorable catch he had. It was a random regular season game versus the Ravens, 10 years ago. It was on a Hail Mary too. I think it was like a Hail Mary last play of like regulation or something, and what was it? Ravens tipped it all right to him. Did he catch that touchdown to put the Bills in the playoffs a couple of years back, or was that Tyler Boyd?
No, that's Tyler Boyd.
Okay. So that's the only thing I really remember. I feel like he was extremely solid receiver, good guy. He got mad at Jalen Ramsey one time, didn't he? He freaked the fuck out at Jalen Ramsey.
Speaking of fights.
A couple years back. Yes. And I don't think he's ever fought anyone, so Jalen Ramsey must have said something wild.
Nah, man. I've never heard AJ Green talk, and I've seen him fight. That's the funniest. Yeah. I have never heard AJ Green speak, but I've seen him fight, though. It's really funny when you think about it. But AJ Green had a hell of a career. I wish they would have paired him with a better court. Well, not they. I guess it just happened that way. And Andy Dalton was technically competent enough to keep his job, reasonably. So, okay, cool. I wish he would have had a better quarterback to see what he might have been able to do, because he was as good at his peak. He was up there with everybody. Maybe, Calvin Johnson, okay, cool. Antonio Brown, okay, cool. With everybody else, AJ Green had a case. Julio Jones, but AJ Green had a case. He was up there. He had 2 1,400-yard seasons, a 1,300-yard season, and in 4 seasons, he at his very peak, he had 38 touchdowns, and this is catching passes from a garden variety average quarterback, and playing for Marvin Lewis, who's not exactly known for his offensive game plans per se. So he was great. And to throw in the fantasy angle, he helped me win quite a bit. So AJ Green, salute to you, my brother. Salute to your retirement. You got out the game with all your extremities working, I'm assuming. So that's great. And enjoy what life has to offer you.
Yeah, man. A quiet retirement is something that we're not really accustomed to, because one Thomas Edward Brady, who picked another February 1st, Black History Month, the first day of Black History Month. Let me say something, Tom Brady, you piece of shit.
And also, two black quarterbacks playing the Super Bowl for the first time ever, and then Tom Brady is showing meat on the timeline. But keep going.
You don't find that suspicious?
We're gonna get to that. Because if people are wondering why it says
my third eye is open, baby.
From goat to thought, because Tom Brady, I guess, because he can't go home to his family, maybe he's looking to start a new one. So he had some.
Why?
He had some. I guess was it MeUndies or whatever? And they were like, I guess they said if a tweet reaches 400-something-thousand likes, he's gonna pose in his underwear or whatever. So it's still Black History Month. Did I do it right? At Edelman11, Rob Gronkowski, and the Brady brand, whatever. That was bad enough, right? But come on, man.
Pause.
Cyclone Larry.
Pause, bro. Pause. Larry, what's going on here, bro?
Cyclone Larry, I don't know who you are, what you do.
I have no idea
but
what
Cyclone
he does,
Larry 69 says,
have some
"Why
fucking
69.
shame,
Tom?
bro.
Let me get a look." You know, this podcast is inspired by 69, but not like that. Not like that, Cyclone Larry.
Pause. My man said, "Why are you hiding the junk, yo? Let me
Why
get
you
a
hiding
look,
the-
baby." Like,
He said-
pause.
He
Why
said,
are you
hiding the-
objectifying this man?
That was wild horny. Like, oh goodness.
Very horny. Very horny. And that shit was like at 10 o'clock in the morning, if I'm not
10
mistaken.
o'clock in the morning.
Insanely
But-
horny. Dangerously horny.
But I hope
Hey.
this is a lesson to a lot of these professional athletes. Don't stay past your expiration date, all right? Because then you're gonna be taking pictures in your underwear for a bunch of men instead of going home to your smoking hot model wife and your family, all right? You know, like
Maybe he's trying to get her back. I don't know. Maybe this is a covert
Then send
way
it to her. The fuck we gotta
right.
send for?
He
Send it to
added
her.
he added two men in his ads.
Yes, and his
And
brand.
his
Right,
sexual Larry-
yo,
and his
if
brand,
you're
his
trying to
sexual Larry
get her
jokes in
back,
life.
like how is showing your meat to the internet getting her back? I don't. How does that work? But I will read a series of tweets. There's a couple that I ran into that kind of sum up the situation because Tom Brady is freshly retired, right? And he lost his family to go play football for Todd Bowles, which brilliant. For somebody who's arguably the best decision maker the NFL's ever seen, that was a really bad one, Tom. But this is after Del Curry and Sonia Curry divorced 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Let me tell y'all something. You don't want to be out here. I think that sums this up really good.
Oh, that one.
You think you want to be out here because you're not out here. When you get out here, you ain't gonna want to be out here no more. Last time you was out here was different. You think it's something better. I come to let you know the best you're gonna get is what you already got. I don't know why you don't want to do the work, but you're gonna come out here and you ain't gonna like it. Tom Brady retired. He lost his family. He lost his will to play football because Todd Bowles beat it out of him. And then now he's posing for men on the net in his underwear, showing off beef. This is what Tom Brady's doing in retirement. Yo, whatever you got going on with your wife, patch the shit up. Y'all love each other. Stop being stupid. Both of y'all. Stop being stupid. If it can be fixed, fix that shit. Otherwise, your man is going to be out here posting in his mantees on the internet.
Wow.
What the life,
You don't
what
want to
the-
be out here.
What the Life Jennings say at the end of the song? Get there and stay at the end of the must be nice.
Yes. Get there and stay there. Yes.
Get there. and
Thank
stay
you,
there.
Life. Yes, Life Jennings. Tell them. Yes, get there and fucking stay there, bro. Whatever you got going on with your lady or your man right now, fix it. Otherwise, you could be like this. If it can be fixed, if it can be, I'm not saying to salvage some bullshit, but if it can be salvaged reasonably, y'all love each other. Y'all just got some small differences that can be patched up. Patch it up. Otherwise, you're gonna be like this. And on top of that, his face in the damn picture looks like some AI shit. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know who edited the photo for him or if so he's had so much plastic surgery done that he looks like a robot. I'm not sure what's going on here. There's a lot going on here, bro.
Maybe
He's
he is a
out here.
robot.
He don't want to be out here. You don't want to be out here. Take it from me, the single man on the podcast. You don't want to be out here, buddy. You don't.
She was
If
like,
you
what?
If you could, if you could avoid being out here, avoid being
Put your
out here.
business
Look
on the
at Tom
streets.
Brady. Tom Brady done thrown 8 million touchdown passes. He done got 6 million championship rings, and he's still acting like a fucking thought on the internet. If he can do it, you ain't above it either.
That was inspirational, Kev. I feel
Yo,
inspired.
that man got 7 championships. All the records as a quarterback, and day 5 with 6 of retirement. Day
Day
5
5
of
of
retirement.
his second fucking retirement.
He's
He's out here.
He's in the beach
He's out here
house
twerking for men on the internet.
in a pair of me undies.
He's twerking for men on the internet and mantis, bro. What's going
So-
on? This is somebody's goat, by the way, not
He
mine.
added,
Not mine.
And Julian Edelman and
Not my
and
goat.
Gronkowski, like
Not
this
my
daddy.
goat. Not.
Oh my goodness.
Nah, I like this daddy is swagger.
Yo,
but appropriate for this occasion.
Yo, son, because he's sitting there. Come on, son. What's the country? Did I do it right?
Yeah, I mean,
This is somebody's
there's
goal.
so many parts about this that's crazy.
somebody's
just
father.
adding like
This
elements
is-
around. I think the random Brady brand ad is probably the craziest thing. Like you just randomly add your own brand too. Like
why?
why?
Why is he out here like a thought, bro? Like, yo, this is the most accomplished football player basically to ever walk Earth. He's been retired for like 100 hours,
5 days.
basically, and he's like, bro, I can't take this, bro. I'm gonna show them some meat. All right,
Show
like,
them to me.
I gotta show him some meat, bro.
Well,
I can't take.
not enough according to Larry. Cyclone Larry. Not enough.
Oh, I didn't see that. I'm trying to see that goat sauce.
I'm trying to see. Yo,
Pause.
some
Okay.
Five Guys. I'm trying to see
Pause,
that goat sausage. What in the? This
Like, bro, at this
Okay.
rate, Tom gonna be an OnlyFans model by the time Super Bowl Sunday get here. At this rate,
I hope Tom Brady looked at those two actual Cyclone Larry and realized what he lost. Like you could have retired on top with your smoking hot model wife. And
Now
you
you got
running back.
Cyclone Larry waiting for you.
Cyclone Larry in your ass. Cyclone Larry, bro.
He went from Giselle Bundchen to
Cyclone Larry just mentioned. It's like,
Oh my
bro,
goodness.
hey, if you needed that extra urge, like if you listen to this, if you got to this part of the podcast and you need that extra urge to go fix your family, please go do it. Don't end up like
Please.
Tom. Because at least Tom is rich beyond anybody's mouth.
Let that be reminded me.
Tom is rich beyond his wildest beliefs. You're not. And Tom is still out here posing in his fucking mantees and adding men on the post, no less. Don't be like Tom. Like, don't be like Tom. Go get your family back, bro. If you can get your family back, go get your family back. Look at him, bro. Look at him.
This is
Look
crazy.
at him.
Oh shit. Oh my
Fucking
god.
Ho Jackson
Oh.
over here, bro.
Oh my god.
What's wrong with him, bro?
Well,
Like,
I
why is he? And
I don't
quite
know.
frankly, as somebody who's been begging Tom Brady to retire for 20 years, if this is what it's going to be, yo, go back and play, bro. I don't want no parts of this. If this is gonna be, go back and play, dog. I want no
Go
parts of this.
back and
It hasn't even been a week yet, dog. I want no parts of this. Go back and play.
you in your underwear and you in the underwear in your beach house talking about like this, daddy.
I'm gonna show him print.
I guess maybe he's. I mean, I'm sure his son's happy. He doesn't have to deal with his dad anymore.
My
and
man
all
just showed
that.
a print, man. On the internet, bro. The GOAT. Y'all's GOAT, not mine. Y'all's GOAT. Out here showing fucking print on the internet. For men, bro.
Yo, Kev. He got seven championships.
He got 7 championships and he's not above acting like a little fucking thought.
Every record known to man, and you would swear that Tom Brady like fell off. Like he never accomplished.
I mean, I don't have much to say
Yo,
because it's
I
just
don't
like,
care what
what's
nobody
going
say.
on.
I don't care what nobody say. Yo, that picture take off like 4 of his rings. Miss me with the bullshit. Like, miss me with the bullshit. That
Damn.
picture take
One
off
more-
like 4 of his rings, dog.
One more time. And then back to Larry.
I honestly think the Larry thing is just so much
Yo.
more. I mean, Tom Brady's egregious enough, but the Larry thing is just like
Yo.
that's just egregiously like.
Bro,
I want to see the
look at
gold
his
sausage.
punctuation in the tweet, bro. My man used multiple exclamation points trying to see some meat, dog.
And question mark. Let me get a look. Man, aggressive. And then follow. I'm trying to see that goat.
Why is he
Fine
that pressed to
dog.
see some hog, bro? Why?
This is your life. This is your life now.
This is
This
their
your life now,
goal.
Tom.
This is their goal.
Oh,
posting
God. Listen.
seductive thirst traps. Day 4 into fucking retirement. This is their goal, not mine. I can't speak for nobody else. Not my goal.
Under normal circumstances, that would have been the last segment of the show. Under normal circumstances. But I can only think of one thing better than that segment. You are now tuned in to Pro Tips with Tippin Jackman.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's what
I
Tom Brady
guess
was feeling like when he let off that tweet this morning. Sorry, Drew, go ahead, man.
I guess one of my
I have
first
the last
pro
one out. Sorry.
I guess one of my first pro tips is save those pictures for the DMs. We didn't need to see it. I'm sure they have a group chat. He could have shared it to their heart's content there. Now on to some pro picks, I guess. I guess this is more of a general thing for the NBA, but one thing to notice, you see the national games, TNT, ESPN, ABC. One thing I like to do is bet the star players to show up and score. And you can get decent amount of odds, like if you go all the way up to like say 35, 40 plus for some plays. Like Giannis has been printing that relatively recently. Dame Lillard's been did I say Lillard? I hope that's right. Dame has been printing that relatively recently as well. LeBron, yeah, okay. LeBron's probably going to print that too. So like stars like that, like big name stars on either team to score. If you want to get crazy, go parlay. If you want to be safe, do their natural line. So whatever their line is on FanDuel, go that. But more likely than not, like players are going to show up. It's a nationally televised game. That's just my general picks for like the week when it comes to NBA. It's so hard picking out because it's like you don't know what the lineups are. You don't know who's going to get injury management or who randomly has an illness and dies and who just like leaves in the middle of the game, which happens quite a bit these days. Like dudes would just be close to whatever prop you have and they're like, okay, I'm out. I got a groin injury. I got a sore thumb. I'm dying. So yeah, but that's my general philosophy. It's just go with the star players sometimes for like these big games. They like to show out, especially like guys like LeBron. And speaking of LeBron, I wanted to say LeBron's going to break his record either tomorrow or Thursday. I don't think he's going to break it versus the Warriors. I think he'll break it before then. I think he's 35, 36 points?
36.
How many
36.
Points? 36.
Who's he playing next? He's playing Thunder?
He's playing the Thunder.
OKC tomorrow night.
Yep. So I mean,
let me see. LeBron.
I don't know if we're on the topic of LeBron, I would bet his under comfortably tomorrow night.
Oh, so you think he's going?
Yeah, I think he's going under tomorrow night. I think he's going to save it for Thursday on national TV against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's former team.
Yeah,
like I think that just adds up. Like the Thunder bet the under. Granted, it would be my luck to tell people to bet the under, and then his line's going to be like 29.5. He's going to get like 30, and then. But whatever, I'd bet the under. I think it's going to be one of those like he puts up 22, 12, and 9 kind of games. That's how it feels to me.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it would make more poetic sense to break it against Kareem. I think he's, from what I've been hearing, has he been trying like the sky hook or something, trying to break it the exact same way Kareem is? But like, who's going to monitor? Who's going to tell him, hey, LeBron? It's like, hey,
I'm not going to lie. Corny. As the resident LeBron fan on this podcast, I will get on this podcast and call him a dick rider for 30 minutes if he does that shit, bro. Just score how you score it, dog. Lay up, I don't care. You do a skyhook, like there's paying tribute and there's dick riding. That's dick riding, dog. Just score how you score.
That's supreme dick riding. His career high against the Thunder is 44. He did that in 2009. As of recent, he has this is the first time he played him since 2021. The last time he played him, he scored 33. I'll ride with you, June, and take the under. He's not going to break it against OKC. Yeah. If he does, it'll be cool, but I don't think so.
Is that game even in LA? I don't think it is either. Right?
It's in LA. Yeah, it's in LA too. Okay. So both of those games are in LA, and I mean. They could. I mean, I can't imagine. They could be cheap and just be like, "Hey, LeBron, time to take a rest day to break it against Milwaukee." But I don't see them because
I mean, they did say something about load management for Thursday, which would be against Golden State, I believe.
No, the Bucks is Thursday.
The Bucks, yeah. So he's not going to that game off
unless he's hurt. He's not taking it.
Right. So he's going to try to get it within the next 2 games, but I feel like. Unless it needs to be that LeBron-esque type victory, like, I need to score it against. Like, if it's like a game that needs to go to overtime or whatever, or, like Shai Gillis, whatever his name is.
Alexander.
I know it was something. If he comes out like trying to ball or something like that, like I get that, but I don't really. I agree with you. I think that I would do the under. And the narrative. NBA is all about the narrative. All of the narrative.
And so one Super Bowl prop I put on Twitter already, but take a player, a non-quarterback to draw a passing touchdown. I think it was at plus 2,000 on FanDuel. I like that. You've seen that in the past couple of Super Bowls. if you want to be safe, you could at least take one non-quarterback to attempt to pass. I'm almost certain with Andy Reid.
I think you said that last
Sirianni
episode.
there.
Do you have anything else? I think you said that last episode.
Sorry.
He did.
So I think you said that last episode.
He did.
What was that? My thing's going weird.
I said I think you said that last episode.
Oh, last episode I said that. Okay. Oh, yeah, I did. I did say that last episode. So another prop I have, I have a bunch of random props, but one prop I did take was someone to score a kick return touchdown. It's at plus 1,200 on FanDuel. We've seen that a few Super Bowl.
You said a return touchdown?
Yeah,
A
like
kick
a
return.
kick or punt return touchdown. I think we could.
I don't think
see
either
that.
team has the facilities for that, right? To
You know,
anybody.
that reminds me of that soccer group. You don't have the facilities for that big money.
Stranger things. I think
Who knows, man? Stranger things have happened.
Yeah,
I was
the
on this
Super
podcast
Bowl-
telling people to bet on like first score be the safety. So I can't sit here and tell you not to bet
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah.
it's a Hail
Yeah.
Mary. So
Yeah,
go for it.
and that's the thing. But I think as we get closer, there'll probably I'll make sure to tweet them out as well. There'll probably be some more conventional lines than touchdown scorers to bet. Maybe even some interesting long shots. Still don't have a good.
What about a long shot Super Bowl MVP? Because Super Bowl MVP has never been, you know what I mean? I think last year was Cooper Kupp.
Give me a second.
It's never really been,
It's
I
always
guess
typically who you think is gonna get it. Like it's never really.
like you would say Pat Mahomes, of course, if they win, if the Chiefs win. But I think if the Eagles win, it's not going to be Jalen Hurts. I think it'll be somebody else. I think if the Eagles win, it won't be Jalen Hurts.
I think
I'm thinking
Hassan
like-
Reddick is a good call.
Yeah, Hassan
Yeah,
Reddick's at
yeah.
plus 3,400 right now.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
So we have Hassan Reddick plus 3,400, and then Chris Jones at plus 5,000. I think it could be I still don't know what kind of game it's gonna be, if it's offense or defense, but I could see one of those guys having a big sack to like end the game or something, or a strip sack or something like that. I think they'll go with them.
I can see Reddick flying off the corner and stripping Mahomes to end the game. I could totally, and Jones too. I can see them doing that. Hopefully, we get a good one.
Yeah, hopefully we get a good one. Definitely would throw some money to Super Bowl. It's the best time. A lot of people make money during the Super Bowl. A lot of people, make a little small fortune. So, but of course, for more pro tips with Tip and Jackson, make sure you're following Jude Jackson at Jude Truth. But of course, that was my favorite segment. It's always my favorite segment. I love this segment. It's one of my favorite segments of the show. But that is all, folks. We are done. Shout out to everybody who tuned in. Shout out to everybody in the Discord. Shout out to everybody who followed the show and everything. Make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, Middle Initial Podcast. I think it's Middle Initial Podcast on YouTube. Make sure you're in the Discord. Discord will be private within a month. We're going to go private and cut off. So make sure that you join the Discord right now and get in there. Definitely a lot of conversations. We have a lot of stuff coming for you guys in the future. Gaming channels. We have our Twitch. Definitely going to be more active in Twitch come summer. Real quick though, shout out to MLB The Show for adding the Negro Leagues to the new MLB 3. I am going to get MLB The Show 23 just for that, for the Negro Leagues. And it says it's a Negro League season 1. So they're actually partnering with the president of the Negro League Museum.
Nice.
So this activity is going to be there. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a storyline they're going to rock with though. So shout out to them, and that's one thing I definitely want to end the show with. I'm going to get MLB The Show 23 just exclusively for that, and hopefully that teaches like Madden, a lesson, or 2K. Like if you're going to do something, try to go out on a limb. I know people might say, "Oh, they're doing the Negro League, whatever," but that's part of baseball. But try to go on a limb. Try to do something that people might, resonate with. It's not enough whatever they're doing. The whatever mode that Madden was trying to do, which is kind of like the fake My Player and the My Player modes. The My Player mode for 2K23 is god awful. It's probably the worst one ever.
I haven't played 2K in like 4 years. Like, I have no idea what's going on at 2K.
Bro, this is probably the worst My Player mode in 2K ever. Like they need to stop scripting. Whoever's writing for them, they need new writers. They need new writers. It's just bad. But
hey, hire me. I'll write in the John Morant
lasers. You know what I mean?
After 16 performance, I'm gonna have the player tell my hollow tips to strangers on the internet.
Right.
Hire me, 2K.
And hire me, 2K, so I can do like hire me Madden, not 2K, hire me Madden, so I can do like a post-retirement Brady. Give you an option: stay with your wife and retire, or come back for 1 year and play on the Todd Bowls. And the outcome is you and your MeUndies. But make sure you follow Kevin Lewis at KLW24. Make sure you follow my bro Jude at Jude Truth. And of course, don't follow me, but follow MIPod69 on Instagram and on Twitter. Any final words, guys, before we go?
Get your family back. Oh, I got.
Listen to some R&B. Shout out to Robert Glassman, bro. Stay inspired. Peace.
Take it easy.